here's former President Trump. He's going to make a statement. Let's listen to the former president on his guilty verdict.
Are you worried about going to jail?
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end, and we'll win, because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble. But this was a rigged decision right from day one with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Why should voters vote for a convicted felon?
Are you going to draw that out?
You believe in the rule of law?
You trust the jury?
So that was former President Trump speaking out against his guilty verdict in the New York trial. Let's turn now for his reaction to Congressman Byron Donalds. Congressman, what do you think?
This is a disgrace, flat out. This was a disaster for the country, disaster for the city of New York, disaster for New York State, disaster for America. You cannot have a prosecution when they come out with your indictment, not even tell you what the underlying crime is. Through the whole trial, they wouldn't identify what the underlying crime is. And the only time they do it is in closing arguments when the defense has already made their closing arguments. That is a travesty. There is a reason why we have constitutional protections to be able to have your case adjudicated in a court of law. Not like this, not where the fix is in from day one. Look, President Trump has been talking about this judge. This judge is a Biden donor. His daughter works for Democrats. They are highly conflicted. Listen, you have judges all across our country who don't even make a political contribution. They don't even go to political events because they do not want to have themselves seen as being unethical or biased. Judge Merchan doesn't even care about that. You got the prosecution, like I said before, they did not even tell you what the actual underlying crime was until the very end. This was a total disaster. And I'm going to tell you this, the Democrats better chuckle now, because what is going to happen is people are going to see this for what it is. This is political prosecution, nothing more, nothing less. I'm telling the people of America, remember this stuff, because if they're going to go after their political rival to stop him, what do you think they're going to do to you to get you to bend the knee to their crazy agenda, which is failing America?
And we anecdotally have talked to them, Congressman. What they have said is as follows, that even before President Trump sat down in the Oval Office in January 2017, Democrats wanted to impeach him. There were 10 counts of impeachment charges against President Trump during his term in office, even before the impeachment charges were brought that were drawn up by Norm Eisen. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer undermined Donald Trump's presidency from the get-go. There were lawsuits brought against the Trump agenda in court. They later then leaked Donald Trump's tax returns. They tried to stop him from going on the Colorado ballot and other states' ballots. There's been a massive push back by a Democrat Party like we've never seen before in this country that has literally changed within the past 20 years. It is not the same Democrat Party this country is used to having been working with, where it's bipartisanship. No longer is it Tip O'Neill. No longer is it Bill Bradley. No longer is it Dick Gephardt. It is bare-knuckle, raw politics using the courts now to attack political opponents, Congressman.
No, you're absolutely right. Let's lay out the entire facts. Back in 2016, because obviously this is what they made this whole case about, 2016. So let's go back to 2016. The Democrats never thought that Donald Trump was going to beat Hillary Clinton. So when Hillary Clinton lost, they lost their minds. And from that point forward, everything has been about getting Donald Trump. You got Adam Schiff, who's now running for the United States Senate in California. He was a liar when he was the head of the intelligence community. He was leaking classified information into the press, a violation of the Espionage Act. This man is now running for the United States Senate. His entire mission has been saying, I'm going to be the guy that's going to stand against Donald Trump. But it's bigger than that. This is to the American people now. We have to be serious about what kind of country we're going to be. The Democrats have been trying to lecture everybody that you have to fear Republicans and fear MAGA, because if we're running the country, then our institutions will be destroyed and democracy will be over as we know it. But look very closely at what we are talking about. You have a crooked judge, a crooked prosecutor. You have Joe Biden in the background with his legal team. They have watched this thing happen. They've allowed this thing to happen. They have promoted this thing to happen. They have allowed for the weaponization of the Justice Department against their political rival. While all that's been going on, the same Biden administration has ignored Supreme Court rulings, a violation of separation of powers. They have spied on the American people, a violation of First Amendment rights. They have ignored federal immigration law, a violation of federal immigration law, and a violation of separation of powers. The party that is destructive of our institutions are the Democrat Party. But they throw this lame case where there is no crime because they can never articulate a crime. They throw that out months before a presidential election so they can say their rival is guilty. This is a travesty and a joke. America, we're better than this. And by the way, I know I just heard it on your airwaves. The judge is going to do sentencing on July 11th. So this guy is a political hack of the highest order. He wants to do this political sentencing, and that's what I'm going to call it. It is a political sentencing. He wants to do it on July 11th, which is 4 days before the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. Folks, if you thought that the Democrats were playing politics, you got it right here. No, Hollywood could never write a script like this. This is disgusting.
Congressman Donalds, sit tight. Let's turn now back to Congressman Byron Donalds. Congressman, how are Republicans reacting to the guilty verdict against former President Trump?
Well, look, I'll tell you, we're very disgusted. I'm checking some of the feeds of my colleagues right now. Everybody's supportive of President Trump because what we are watching is just wrong. This is wrong on all levels, all counts. We went through the elements of what actually happened in this phony trial. I'm not even going to call it a trial. It's a phony trial. Went through the elements of that. But I will tell you, the man did nothing wrong here. That's the bottom line. And if you leave him out to dry or hang him out to dry because you're concerned about November, what you're going to do is speed the demise of our country, because we are witnessing rogue elements in the legal system. Frankly, at the federal level, you know what's already happened at Main Justice with the number 3 guy over there who left a top job in the legal profession to go be a frontline prosecutor in Lower Manhattan. That doesn't happen unless the fix is in. And so what we are witnessing is the rogue Democrats who are putting the fix in, not just in the judicial system, but with every other aspect of our country and all its institutions.
A lot of voters out there who we've spoken to anecdotally feel like there are too many rhinos, that there are too many weak-kneed Republicans not ready to do what Democrats have done in terms of using bare-knuckle politics to get what they want. So what we're dealing with right now, let me just back up. We talked this week about a New Yorker magazine story about how President Biden's family has a long history of abusing government contracts, military contracts, in fact, dating back to World War I through World War II, where they were charged with excessive profiteering. We see a narrative that the president has brought on the campaign trail of middle-class Joe. When you look at the facts, he grew up in a luxury home. He actually had a father who liked to play polo, who liked to live a high-flying lifestyle, lost his job job, actually, because the government cracked down in World War II, because they found that the Biden family, in their shipbuilding business, was taking excess profits in delivering repairs to ships for the Navy. So the narrative for the middle-class Joe seems to be falling apart on the campaign trail when you see the president owning multiple houses, luxury homes. And so you're looking at a live shot right now of, what's happening outside the jury. When you hear the truth about what is going on with this Biden family, going back a century of their close links to the government, of profiteering off of the government, and now you see the former president, Donald Trump, convicted on all charges, does the Republican Party, are they hearing the wake-up call?
Oh, they better. I'll tell you that. Look, we know about the crooked nature of Joe Biden. We've been really unfolding that in the oversight committee. Look, there's no way Hunter Biden and Jim Biden are making millions of dollars if they weren't taking advantage of the fact that Joe Biden's been in our politics for 50 years. You got the junkets on Air Force Two going as far back now that we've documented 2014, 2015, and everything going forward. You just had last week Joe Biden going to see Haley Biden, Hunter Biden's ex-wife, right before she's supposed to testify in the gun charge against Hunter Biden. So you already see the fact that they are crooked. They do not care about our institutions. They just like to go on camera and say that they do. They like to give sound bites and phrases about how they say that they do. But what's really happening in America is that these crazy radical Democrats led by Joe Biden, they are getting rich on this system. They are taking advantage of the working people of America in this system. And then the media covers up for them while they give talking points about how they stand for the little guy. That is a joke. And the one president in the last 25 years, really 35 years, that has stood for the little guy is Donald J. Trump. And the entire apparatus of the Democrat Party made a decision long time ago in 2016 that they can't beat him, so they have to go after him.
Let's turn now to K.T. McFarland. You heard our discussion now